What's up, everybody? Welcome back to another episode of Gearhead Nation. Today's an awesome day because we finally have all the parts we need to get this thing back together again. Let me show you what all we got. Alright guys, so I came across a deal over the weekend. Picked up a t56 6-speed clutch. The guy threw in the starter, plus I got the complete exhaust system with long tube headers. Shifter with the badass little shifter knob. Picked everything up for 1,400 bucks. Not a bad deal. Now this t56, the guy said it came out of a 2000 Camaro, and it was bolted up to a 5.3. I helped the guy take it out, but it did come with a spacer. I have the feeling that this is a LT transmission. The guy that sold it to me claims that he had the input shaft milled down because he had it behind a 6.0 and had to have it milled down because the crank was longer. But I'm not sure if I believe that or not. Anyways, the spacer goes in between the flex plate and the back of the crank to push the flex plate out. So I guess this will bolt up without using that. This will bolt up to a older first gen small block or big block, whichever you feel like doing. The guy threw in the starter as well, which I don't need, but it's awesome to have a spare one around. It looks like it's brand new actually. So the exhaust, I'm not sure what brand it is, and I won't even be using it for too long because I'll be doing a turbo setup on this car, but we have it. The clutch, it came with a McLeod clutch. Which everything looks pretty decent. Not a whole lot of wear to it. And it came with the McLeod flex plate. So we'll be installing all this. However, before we go bolting the transmission in, I have a few problems on the engine I need to resolve. There's a chance we may need to pull the engine again. On the Holley Terminator X, our oil pressure is super low. It's only showing 3 psi. I'm not sure if that's a problem with the tune itself or a problem with a bad oil pressure sensor or what the deal is. So before we do all that, I'm going to hook up an external oil pressure gauge and see what that's reading. And the only thing I can think of is if the oil pressure really is low, then the problem is probably in the pickup tube where I switched out the pickup tube. Possibly something not sealing right. So that's going to be what we're jumping into first. Alright guys, we're underneath the car. First thing we're going to do is pop out these 15mm bolts and take this flex plate off. Alright, we got the pressure plate off. Now it's time to put on our adapter and our pressure plate. All right, guys, we got our flex plate in. Now I'm going to go ahead and get inside the car and try to start it and make sure everything still starts and operates properly. With that spacer in there, I just want to make sure the starter is going to do its job. All right, there's our pilot bearing and clutch disc installed. Let's go ahead and put the clutch on. All right, guys, so we got a major hurdle jump through. We got the complete drive line in. Like I said, I don't have a clutch master cylinder yet. If you remember correctly, when I pulled the T5 and the V6 out, I cut the line, and I'm not sure if it's even compatible with the t56 or not. But I was planning on going with something aftermarket anyways, given the fact that I am planning on racing this thing. So as soon as the clutch master cylinder gets here from Tick, we'll have a video of that installation and bleeding the clutch. The next video I'm going to start on tomorrow. I'm going to go through the brake system. I need to run new brake lines and get the brakes bled, and I want to get the cooling system attached now and get the new exhaust ran. So that'll be the next video. In the meantime, thanks for watching, guys. Comment, like, subscribe, and we'll see you guys next time. Later. All right, we got the pressure plate off. Now it's time to put on our adapter and our pressure plate. All right, guys, we got our flex plate in. Now I'm going to go ahead and get inside the car and try to start it and make sure everything still starts and operates properly. With that spacer in there, I just want to make sure the starter is going to do its job. All right, there's our pilot bearing and clutch disc installed. Let's go ahead and put the clutch on. All right, we got the clutch in and we got the bell housing bolted on. Now we'll go ahead and get the transmission in place. It should be fun. All right, guys, there it is. We got the transmission up, bolted in, mounted, good to go. Now we'll go ahead and get on getting the torque arm hooked back up and throwing in the drive shaft. Alright, guys, so it's hard to see underneath here, but I do have the drive shaft in and the torque arm connected. So now we'll go ahead and go up top and get inside the car, and I'm gonna go ahead and fill it up through the hole for the shifter and attach the shifter, and we'll be done with this part. Alright guys, and there it is. We've got the t56 in. The drive line is complete. So let's go ahead and fire it up. I still have it on the blocks. We don't have a clutch master cylinder yet. I ordered one from Tick. It should be in the next few days, so that'll be on a separate video. But let's go ahead and fire this thing up and try to run it through some gears. Alright, there's the first gear. And it's able to move under its power for the first time in over a year. That's awesome. That's awesome.